Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach. It's going to be the round one review. We're going to be going through how we went, look at the overall score, player by player, the usual business. And as you can see, 1242. I mean, getting over 1200 week one, round one of the season, I can't complain. It was, as a title will suggest, something similar. It was duds versus studs. You know, we had a bunch of, we had quite a few very good scores and then some absolute stinkers. So, you know, I'm always very hesitant to trade in the first round unless, like last year, which I will take from last year, round one, we had to trade two of our front rowers because of injury / suspension. So if you're not having to trade someone because of an injury or a suspension, then I like to hold the trades. Don't get me wrong, I am very tempted to trade a couple of players, but we'll have a look. You know, you don't have to sit on both your trades in round one, but if you can, I think it is the better solution. So yeah, 1242 sitting at 32,500 rank, which is fine. I mean, it's I guess, yeah, mid 1200s, probably slightly above par. It was definitely a high scoring round. I've seen a lot of 1300 scores. I'm sure there were plenty of, you know, 1400s, 1500s. I'm sure there was a couple. But yeah, 1200 to 1300, I guess, is like below par to above par. And then below that, even if you got like 1100s, I wouldn't be too concerned, especially if you had like I know quite a few teams had like a Tino, AJ Brimson potentially, even a fucking Jaden Campbell if you took the punt on him. So you could have a strong team coming into this week. So let's have a look at the overall position by position. So we're starting out with the dummy halves. I took and not necessarily the punt, but I did play Pete Mamazoulis over Sanders Smith. And I think I still think it was the right call. Obviously, Sanders Smith scored a try. He got to 50. That's good. I mean, you know, Sanders Smith and the Roosters, I'm just hoping he can continue to jag some attacking stats, because I don't think we're going to want to keep Sanders Smith for too long. Pete Mamazoulis, boy oh boy, I'm honestly annoyed at myself for starting or picking Mamazoulis from the get-go. I wish I went with my hunch and just took the punt on a Tommy Starling in the Vegas game, but again, I was just iffy on other positions and if I wanted to go with the cheapy route, so that's what threw me off. But I think I went with a big majority of the crowd and went with Mamazoulis. Now he got 37, which it's fine. It was all in tackles because bro did not even look to run the football, which is the worst part. Like, I wasn't expecting him to be Damien Cook 2.0 or anything of the sort. And the Rabbitohs, you know, they weren't getting a roll on as well. They were struggling for meters. So it wasn't necessarily a big running game for a dummy half, but there were definitely opportunities for Mamazoulis to run with a marker down. He didn't even look. There was not even a second look to run. Like, you can tell, and I just don't think he's very good. Like, I'll be straight up, I just don't think he's a very good dummy half. He's fine defensively, but you can tell, like, a good dummy half coming in. And a great example, the young Riley Smith from the Parramatta Eels, right? He came on and looked sensational. I was very shocked. I'll look to see if he updated his score, but it looked like his score was terrible, which I thought was a little strange. He might have had a bunch of missed tackles as well, but you could tell, like, a young guy like that coming in, even Owen Paddy, Harry Grant's the master of it, and probably Api Coruscant, just, they get the ball and they look up. You know, they might take a couple of steps, not too far if it's not on. If it's on, they'll take off. If it's not, they'll get the pass off quickly. Mamazoulis, pick up, pass. Doesn't even look to see if there's an opportunity down the blind side or to take off. So, yeah, honestly, the dummy half is a bit of a concern. Now, thankfully, none of the dummy halves really killed it. I know, obviously, a popular at the top end, Harry Grant, who I was close to really pushing just to get Harry Grant in. I mean, the Storm killed it, and Harry Grant still, I don't know, he probably scored about 60, I'm guessing, with a try. And that's the big thing with Grant, is just with so many players for the Storm who can carve up, Grant, the base stats are just not going to be there a lot of games. So if he doesn't get a couple of try assists and a try, the score is going to be a little bit mediocre. So I'm happy I didn't go with Grant, but we got issues with Mamazoulis. I just don't think he's very good. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, Jamie Humphries was very good at halfback. Lewis Dodd should be back round 2. I think there's every chance Lewis Dodd goes straight back to 7. And Humphries, I wouldn't be shocked if Humphries just took over the dummy half spot, which I think would be the best solution. Or just worse, like he would go onto the 14 as the bench utility, and it could spell dramas for Mamazoulis because, yeah, they didn't... And even in this game, he was probably lucky to get so many minutes. Like, he played like 75 minutes or 70 minutes plus because the injury to Ty Munro, which is obviously terrible for him again. But Sullivan, I don't know if Sullivan was going to come on at dummy half or not, but Sullivan had to go to centre, I guess, which took away that option. So Mamazoulis played big minutes. So, yeah, a bit of an issue there. I'm not sure. I'm probably just going to hold for a week. There are obviously some options to go to, but yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, we were sort of banking on the dummy half being a bit of a shocker. And, I would have been happy to play Sandon Smith, but fucking the Roosters take on Penrith, so that screws that. The Rabbitohs take on Dragons, which is not a bad matchup, but if Mamazoulis doesn't even look like running the footy, then it's fucking useless. He's not going to get any points. So, yeah, bit of an issue there, which I guess is to be expected. There's the option to go to Tommy Starling still. I mean, I did think Riley Smith looked really good, but he played big minutes and he looked great, but the points weren't there. Obviously a bit hard in that Storm smash up, so there's still the option. I think Hands didn't do anything, and then Smith came on, and I mean, just the energy was great. So there's a chance there to downgrade to a Riley Smith potentially if he gets to start in the next couple of weeks, but we'll see. The front row, honestly, got to be very happy with that. Terrell May pumped out 78 points. Corey Hawes was 61. I thought he might upgrade still a little bit. I thought the 61 was a little bit unders for what he put out, but yeah, it is what it is. And Emre Gula, our boy Emre Gula, 53 points. Got to be happy with that at a 330k guy. I mean, just looking at that Dragons pack, I still... Obviously, there was the injury to the young Couchman, which is obviously devastating for him. So, potentially Gula got a few more minutes than typical, but, the forward pack is really small. I think they need Gula, and I still think he's looking fit. I think he's looking fit. He's looking pretty good out there. So, I was happy with the pickup. The minutes maybe were... How many minutes did he play? Because, obviously, the injury maybe helped him there. But yeah, I think he's got an offload in his game. He played 55 minutes. I mean, if he can pump out 50 minutes, I'd be very happy. 55, I mean, that's sensational. But if that keeps up, we'll see. But yeah, it's just such a small front row. I mean, I don't know. I think they sort of need Gula to play pretty big minutes just for a bit of go forward. He did get monstered a few times, but their whole their whole front row off the bench as well, it's pretty small. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel pretty good about the Gula pickup. Moving into the back row, ups and downs here. So, Preston, 49 points. I got to say, I'm a little annoyed. He finished on 51 after the game, and I was pretty, at the end of the day, I was pretty happy with it. It was mostly in base. He didn't get many opportunities. He looked dangerous the few chances he got, and I was certain he was going to upgrade, not to anything major, but I thought maybe mid-50s, even high 50s with a few extra tackle busts they missed, but no, apparently he downgraded 2 points, which, I don't know, I feel a little bit I feel like he was robbed a few points there. I don't know. 49. He was pretty strong. Yeah, but I'm fine. Honestly, it's fine. He played 80 minutes. It was, again, a little unfortunate as well. There was an injury to an outside back. Well, Crichton went off, obviously, and Preston moved to the centres for like the last 10, 15 minutes, I think. Maybe even a bit longer. So, yeah, he obviously missed out on a few points going to centre. So, yeah, I'm happy to hold Preston. He's a season-long keeper. It's one of those ones. Like, that's second rowers. Like, obviously, your mid-range guys, they can go like 40s, even 30s for a safe earth. But, okay, we're back. My dog was just about to go off his chops at the postie. What was I talking about? Yeah, Preston with his 49. That's fine. I mean, no real attack in that game. He was so close to a couple of line breaks and this and that. So we'll take it. There's attack there for Preston. If he plays 80 minutes, I think, yeah, lock and load. I'm happy with it. Hosking, yeah, 57. He didn't change after his initial upgrades. I was hoping they would renege and give him the try assist, but it's fine. It is what it is. And then Alex Seyfarth with a 36. Now, this was one player after the game. I was like, he's gone. I'm rage trading. I'm just going to downgrade him straight away to fucking Jack Gazewski. But, you know, he did cop a head knock and he was off the field for 15 minutes. So, you know, I mean, in all honesty, he got 36 in... Again, how many minutes did he end up playing? He only came back on very late, so yeah, okay. So he missed 15 minutes exact. He plays an extra 15 minutes. He probably scores. Well, obviously it's the second rower can go like 10 minutes without a point. They can score a few, but I don't know, mid 40s you would assume, which is it's still pretty fucking bad. And honestly, I'm annoyed at myself for going Seyfarth. I think he's one of those guys that I've been fucking suckered in by a lot of people being really high on him. He's one of those guys that for some reason I've let people influence me that they were really keen and thought he would be like a star. Yeah, one of those guys that just I've never been a fan of Seyfarth. I got suckered in. I got suckered in with the allure of like getting the captaincy in the trials, and he based pretty well. But like, if you even look at that base, like it was pretty much all in tackles. Like he's not a threat. Like, yeah, I don't know. But the silver lining with the Seyfarth is that, yeah, our boy fucking Jack Gazewski actually played the full 80, even when Piakura came on and got sin bin in the first second. I can't believe that. Oh, man. I can't believe that. But it seemed like Piakura, Gazewski was going to play the full 80 minutes. Now, I can have another look this week, and if that happens, and Seyfarth, once again, is pretty fucking stinky with like a 45, even if he gets like 50, if Gazewski plays like 80 minutes, it's so simple just to trade Seyfarth down, bank a couple 100k, and get in Gazewski. So that's honestly fine. I think I will just hold off again. The Tigers have a pretty good, they take on Parramatta, so it's another pretty good matchup for them. So I'm happy to hold Seyfarth. I'll probably play him again, but it's fine. Hamoli Olukwatu banged out a ton. I feel pretty good about this one. He's an absolute monster. Like, he's another season-long keeper, unless, obviously, suspension/injury. He's just so damaging. And the great thing about Olukwatu is that he's sort of the opposite of, like, a Seyfarth, right? And even a Preston, to that matter. Like, Preston, he gets his hands on the footy more than other back rowers. Not in this game, necessarily, but Olukwatu, he generally has much more base with his runs than his tackles. Like, he doesn't necessarily make a bunch of tackles. It's more, he just takes a lot of hit-ups. And his hit-ups usually consists of tackle bust, offload, line breaks. He's a freak. So, he is a super coach. He's got the Supercoach game about him. Less in like 30 plus tackles, more in like 15 plus runs, which is what you want to see for Hamoli. And the Parramatta Eels, not the fucking Parramatta Eels, the Manly Seagulls have a great draw. They take on the Warriors. Yeah, Love the pickup of Hamoli. Naf White, 43. This one does my head in a little bit because obviously the Roosters got flogged. I thought Naf White was pretty strong. I thought he looked pretty damn good considering he played like the first 35 minutes straight and he looked pretty good. Then for some reason Trent Robinson just... And this is the thing that fucking blows me away. Even Radley was out of the game pretty early on, and I was like, oh shit, Naf White's on for a big game here. It'll probably be a little bit overs for what we can expect, but I thought he's going to play like 60 plus minutes, I would expect. No, he didn't. He played the first 35 minutes and then came back with like fucking, I don't know, 10 minutes to go in the game. I was losing it a little bit. He played, he finished on 48 minutes. 48 minutes? Honestly, again though, bit of a silver lining, maybe not, but if Emre Gula continues to punch out like 50s, right, and maybe that's a little overs, we'll see if he can or not. He's obviously cheaper. Naf White 370k. There's a temptation to get in a Lindsay Smith, or even fucking, if you can afford it, get in a Payne Haas. My God. But if Naf White comes out this week, and again he plays like less than 50 minutes, obviously it's a tough matchup against Penrith. But if he plays pretty mediocre minutes once again, then honestly, I'll be happy enough just to trade White up to a better front rower, or even downgrade if Seyfarth comes out and kills it and White stinks it up, we can downgrade White to Gazewski. So there's definitely options. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would much rather these guys have punched out 60 plus and I'd be on fire early in the season, but it is what it is. It's never going to happen. So yeah, I was very disappointed. I don't understand the rotation. Like, they had no go forward. White was like one forward that was like, they were getting flogged regardless. So my only thing is that maybe Robinson was like, okay, I'll give White a little bit of a rest because we're going to need him in the future weeks because they were already getting pumped. It's the only thing I'm hoping happened. Otherwise, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your rotation? And then our boy Lockie Hubner, fantastic. I mean, 45 points are the best here. Just an absolute toiler. Dude, what a player. He's an absolute gem. Absolute gem. Puts his body on the line. Came up with some big hits. He's not a destructive ball runner by any means. He cops a few hits himself, but just rock solid. And I think that performance, I mean, that just showed, like, Wayne Bennett is definitely going to rely on Hubner to play pretty big minutes throughout the season. Absolute goer. 60 minutes, 45 points. You'll take that every day of the week as a 230k cheapy second row forward. And yeah, he played sensational. Like, defensively, he was unreal. So yeah, the Rabbitohs, I think he did himself very good with that performance. So great to see. Our halves, obviously Cleary finished on 68 after Vegas. Tom Duffy, I mean, he got to 27 points. Like, I know there's a lot of panic stations, which is fair enough. I mean, the Cowboys, this is the thing with going a Duffy. It was sort of expected that the Cowboys were going to struggle early in the season. They have a very tough draw early. So, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm happy just to keep Duffy in the side as long as he is picked. Obviously, if he gets dropped, then we got questions. We got to do something. But I got money in the bank. I've got money I can make. So I'm not gonna lie. There was a temptation, and I'm probably not gonna do it just because it requires some big trades. But there was a temptation just to like make enough money to get Duffy up to Nico Hines. It's probably a little bit out of the realm of possibility. It's not crazy to think about, but yeah, it's probably a little bit much. And obviously Nico Hines not goal kicking, but Jesus Christ, the Sharks have a great draw coming up. So I do sort of want to get in Hines as soon as possible. I would love if he got the goal kicking back. That's the only thing still holding me back, but I don't know. At the end of the day, they're playing at home. So hopefully they can turn it around a little bit. Should be hot conditions. The Cowboys will be used to it. We'll see. Obviously, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to keep playing. I'm not going to play him, but I'll keep him there as long as he stays in the team, because he'll still make money. Like 27 points, not great, but I mean, he didn't get any real points, like no attacking stats, so it is what it is. Our 5'8", obviously Metcalf stunk it up. Dewey with a 41. He was on track for like a decent score. He was on I think he was on like 30 at half time, but yeah, sort of went off the boil, kicked a couple of goals. He's probably a little unlucky not to get the try assist. Yeah, I think he only got like a try contribution, even though they've definitely given try assists to sort of those type of plays before, but oh well, it is what it is. I don't know, we'll see. Obviously, I'm happy to run Dewey for a bit. They, like I said, the Tigers do have a good draw coming up, which is why I was still happy to have Dewey, but yeah, if he's going to punch out 40s, then he can definitely, get upgraded or downgraded as well. 5'8", I mean, obviously Munster had a killer. It was probably lucky for us non-owners that he didn't get like 150. It was on the cards. Ryan Pappenhausen absolutely dogged him with a try, so I was happy to see that. Then we moved to the centre wing, which is pretty damn good. Ruben Garrick, 86, with no real attack. I mean, he had a couple of attacking plays. He goddamn Jason Saab, you fucking goose. Garrick should have tonned up because he threw a beautiful little flick pass. Jason Saab just fucking hands like butter, just spills it. But oh well, it is what it is. Still 86 points, you'll take it. Dylan Lucas, 75, looked great. I mean, that run he did, yeah, he's an absolute monster. Greg Marju, 83, we'll take. And then Tane Tuapiki, obviously the odd man out here with a 30. Which again is fine, because the cheapie of Tamale has come onto the scene now. And again, I'm happy not to trade Tuapiki straight away. The Warriors take on Manly, which is, well, I don't know. It's obviously away from Brookie, so it's not as dire. It's not great, but I'm happy to give Tuapiki another go if the Warriors fucking shape right a little bit. And then if it doesn't eventuate and Tamale's going to keep the spot, then again, we can free up another couple of 100k going to him. Jackson Purdue, I guess he's the other one here. Purdue with a 28. Defensively, I mean, people are ripping into like Purdue and Duffy. Like the Cowboys as a whole were fucking awful. Like you could drop like half of their side. Like people are saying drop Purdue, drop Duffy. You drop fucking like 3/4 of that team. They were fucking dire. So I don't know. We'll see if Purdue does get relegated for a Zach Laybutt, which isn't out of the question by any means. Then yeah, we could go Purdue to Tamale as well. And Tuapiki, we could upgrade to somebody. We could, there's other guys like, I mean, Jesse Arthurs obviously look good in that Broncos back line at a decent price. So there's definitely some good options to go to. Shibazaki with an 83 and then Robert Toya with a 90. I feel good. I obviously played Robert Toya. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It wasn't like a lucky play because I was either going to play Robert Toya or Shibazaki. I was like, the Broncos against the Roosters, I think there's points. And then Toya, I was like, base is going to be solid, and he's just got that about him. So I took the punt on Toya, and it paid off, even though they got pumped. Robert Toya went well, which is nice. Obviously, I didn't play Iongi. He was the guy I wasn't going to play against the Storm, but he came out, got 70 points. I think he was also sort of dudded a try assist, so he could have even got like almost a ton, which is crazy in that game. But yeah, it's fine. Tommy Trbojevic, captaincy, 113. It was a game. Fuck, he could have got more too. Like it was one of those games. He looked so good. You'll take the 113 for sure. And, I picked the right captain. He was my highest scoring player by a decent chunk too. So I feel good about that. You get the captaincy right. Always helps the score. And then Kalen Ponga with an 82. I mean, the Knights didn't look great, but Ponga did turn it on a few times. And, I mean, the Knights have a great draw as well, despite that bye coming up. So, yeah, I think I think going forward, the main issues, I mean, Tuapiki / Purdue. If Tuapiki doesn't start getting some ball, if Chanel Harris-Tavita keeps getting the spot in the halves instead of Tamara Martin, I think Tuapiki is on the chopping block. Purdue, it depends. If he keeps the spot, I'll keep him. If he doesn't, then obviously Tamale's in the wings. Our 5'8s, I mean, Dewey, if he's going to punch out 40s, it's fine. He's not like he's not going to be a guy you have to get rid of anytime soon, but for the long term, yeah, Metcalf obviously is on the chopping block if he doesn't turn things around. Thomas Duffy, similar with a Purdue. If he keeps the spot, I'll keep him. If he doesn't, then we got to make arrangements. Seyfarth, obviously, he's on the chopping block with Naf White, which is annoying. These two guys, depending who looks good. There's obviously the Gazewski downgrade, / White moving up to prop and upgrading him to Lindsay Smith. There's definitely some good options there. The front row, pretty locked in, pretty lock solid. Amre Gula, hopefully he can still punch out 40s to 50s. That'd be sensational. And then the dummy halves is also a bit of concern, but we'll see how that happens. Trades, 46 is 46 more than we had last year? I feel like 46 is a lot of trades. Is that more than last year? I don't remember. I mean, I know we have an extra position, but it'd be strange if they gave us more trades, because I think the balance has been okay, but if it is more trades, then you can go pretty heavy early. I think I still will just hold off. I'm actually curious. I'm very curious to see what fucking just a few positions scored, like dummy halves. Who hurt us in dummy halves? I don't think it was anyone really. I mean, Max Plath, Jacob Little playing fucking off the bench, still scored 70. But Plath in the second row, I don't know. Like, I don't really like Plath in the second row. He scored that try, but you're paying 600k for a back rower that I don't think. Like, if you're paying 600k, I still prefer, like, a little bit more for Olakau'atu. I still prefer Preston. There's a couple of other guys I still probably prefer. Obviously, the benefit, you'd have him at hooker, but I don't know. I'm not convinced. I know a lot of people are going to scramble to get him at hooker, but without the try, I don't know. He didn't look anywhere near as good as he does in the middle of the field playing dummy half or lock. So, yeah, I don't know. If he comes out, kills it again at second row, sure. I don't mind trying to get up to him at hooker because he's going to be just a really solid option. But I don't know. We'll see. Starling looked great. Brayley, I don't know. People are keen on Brayley. I don't know. 62, it is what it is. Grant, thankfully the 61. And this is the beauty. Obviously, the Storm, people that had a lot of Storm plays are obviously loving life. But, and this is the reason why I didn't end up going any Storm plays, because they got the bye this week, which, again, everyone has the bye. It's fine. But then they take on Penrith in round 3, which should be tough. So I think after round 3, looking round 4 and 5 is when I'm going to try to target some Storm players. But, we'll see. We'll see how it works out. Anyone else? I mean, Marshall King with the 57, fine. Corey Pake's got 56. I don't know. He got a try though. Like, I don't know. He played 57 minutes. I just don't think that's enough. Like, I know he's gonna make some cash, but if he doesn't score the try, the score is pretty shit, and I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's a Denny Levi situation all over again." So I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna go down to like a Corey Pakes. Connor Watson 55. I feel pretty happy I didn't spend the money on Watson. Obviously, the Roosters look dreadful. He did play big minutes. I think, did he play the full 80? He obviously played at lock. Yeah, he played the full 80 minutes. Only 55 points. So, yeah, I don't know. Can he maintain 80 minutes? It's going to be tough. And then, yeah, not much else doing. Wait, where was... Reece Robson, 27. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Riley Smith, 16. Dude, he looks so good. This is one of those games I was not like keeping up with the Supercoach points. I was just watching the game sort of in the background a bit while I was out, but he looked incredible. I was like, just on eye test, I was like, oh, he's probably gotten like 40 points after the end of the game. He played big minutes. He was tackling everything, but yeah, there were probably like a lot of like, he was out of the line a lot. There was probably a lot of missed tackles that got credited to him, which is probably a little unfair. But yeah, dude, it's going to be interesting because like Brennan Hands was terrible, and obviously Riles really liked Smith. Like Smith came on early and looked good. I still think he looked good. So I still don't mind the punt of maybe going Mamazulas down to Smith. The Parramatta Eels actually have a pretty good little few games. It's not bad. Tigers, Bulldogs, Manly, Dragons, Raiders, Tigers again. It's pretty good. Like, they don't play any of the absolute star-studded teams. I mean, Manly can be tricky. Obviously, Dogs defensively. But, I don't know. I guess give him another week. Obviously, if the points just aren't there, they're not there. So, it's maybe not worth it. But he looked good. He looked really, really good. Is Phoenix Crossland not dual dummy half this year? Really? Okay. I was like, Phoenix Crossland. Oh, no, there he is. Yeah, Crossland 51. So even Crossland, I'm like, I should have just fucking gone with Crossland because you knew he was going to make a bunch of tackles. He obviously did the Connor Watson. He moved to lock. He played 60 minutes. Unfortunately, I'll have too many. I can't really go Crossland. I'll have too many nights that they got to buy in round 4. It's just a little bit too many, I think. So, yeah, I think Riley Smith is a smoky, even with the bad score. They're not going to, like, they took on the Storm in round 1, who absolutely pumped them. So, I think it's a bit of an anomaly, and he just looked good. So, I don't know. There's obviously potential there to make a bit of cash. If you want to, it's a little tricky. The 5'8", yeah, Munster upgrade. He got 100, which is fair. He was very, very good. Benny Hunt, Dylan Brown. He must have downgraded. He was on. I think he was on like 90, which is crazy. I didn't think he was very good. I honestly, I think this 73 is very fucking lucky. I think he was very lucky to get 73 points in this game. I mean, that's Supercoach, baby. Like, you can be pretty shocking and still score some points, but yeah, it's fine. Obviously, quite a few people went him. You'd be pretty happy. Like, you'd actually be very happy getting pumped by the Storm and still getting 73 from Brown. Benny Hunt for 81 points. I mean... 50k, I mean, I don't know, dude. Do you take a punt on a Ben Hunt if you wanted to upgrade like a Metcalf? I don't know, man. I don't know. He looked good. I mean, he's an attacking threat. Interesting. He's obviously not halfback this year, so it does add a little bit of question. 50k less than Burden, 58. Luai with a 54. I don't know. I don't know why people are so keen on Luai. People are like expecting him to do what he did at Penrith. Like when he played halfback at Penrith when Cleary was out, sure, but that was with Penrith. Like, I don't know. Lucky Galvin 51. Yeah, none of the 5'8" really hurt us too bad. Chanel Harris-Savita, I'm still shocked he got 51 points. That's crazy. Cody Walker with a 28. Dearden, expensive with an 18-pointer. Yeah, that's all for that. Any other positions I'm keen to sort of have a squiz at? The fullbacks, I know Pappy killed it, 131. I mean, Pappy's 600k. After they got a bye this week, then they take on Penrith. Do you try it? Like, I mean, I'm happy with that's the thing. Could you... Who have they got in round 4? The Knights, what you could do take on Dragons. Dragons, Manly, Warriors, Dolphins. It's a pretty good draw coming up. Could you get... I don't know if I will, but you could go Ponga in round 4 to Pappenhausen, and then round 5, you could go like fucking Iongi back to Ponga. But that, I don't know. I don't love doing that type of stuff. Because who has Ponga got? Could you hold off? By Dogs, Tigers, Sharks. It's pretty good. Like, the Sharks are tough. Bulldogs could be tough. I don't know if I like doing that. But fuck, if Pappenhausen is looking that sharp in that Storm team, 600k, he was looking good. He was looking good. Obviously, Parramatta were not looking good, but Gutho with a 113, Reece Walsh 95, Connor Tracy fucking got 90 points. A few people were keen on him in the centre wing. I mean, a lot of centre wings went well. Fletcher Sharp 83. I mean, he's an attacking upside player, isn't he? But yeah, that pretty much wraps up. I'm not going to look at every position. That's pretty much fine. The front, we'll have a quick squiz. I mean, Payne Haas, fuck, he was good. Carrigan, Vanilla Blake, Lindsay Smith. Yeah, some good scores. Toff Sipley, 10 yellow per second. Even Couchman, people that went Couchman, 69 points. Yeah, I mean, the minutes, like I said, with Gula, minutes inflated as well with the other Couchman getting injured, so we'll see if that continues. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. I still feel pretty good about the team. Obviously some glaring issues, but I think overall the core's there. The core's there. We just need to tighten a few things up. But yeah, hopefully you guys went well this week. Hopefully you started out with a bit of a bang. Looking good for next week. Make sure to like and comment. I'll see you guys in the next one.